Welcome back to my channel, guys. So for today's video, I really wanted to talk about this Meek Mill, Nicki Minaj situation and like their whole crazy Twitter beef. And I was super mad when I started noticing all of it happening because it's like, I love Twitter, but I get on it, I either get on it a lot or I don't get on it like barely. So the one day I don't get on it, of course stuff happens, and that's just how my life is. And I have to say, I don't necessarily think there was a winner in the situation. I think they both definitely clowned themselves essentially, and I think they each had their good points, if I'm being very honest, which I'm a little surprised to say, only because I try not to be too biased, but I know I already have a prejudice against Nicki because I don't like her. If you have been subscribed to me for a while, then you would have seen, or at least possibly seen, my video on, what was it? I think I titled it like everything wrong with Nicki or why I don't like Nicki. I don't know, something about me not liking Nicki, and I just made like a whole video about it, about like her music career and how I feel like she's fell and like how I feel like she's just bitter in general. Anyway, you can go back and watch it if you're interested, but I know I definitely got very mixed reactions. People were either agreeing with me or they were mad I was talking about her. But I mean, it's just my opinion. I don't know what else to tell you guys. But regarding the situation, it started off by Meek liking that picture of Nicki's husband like as a mannequin in a store, because I guess there have been a lot of comments about him like just seeming like a mannequin, and the way that he stands, he doesn't really say much. I guess he doesn't show much expression. And I guess I never thought about it because, like, I don't know, I just don't pay attention to Nicki like that. Like, I have no reason to. I'm not gonna go out of my way to hate on her. That video was definitely like one of the few things I have ever done like to expressly show my dislike for her. But like I said, it's just for YouTube, you know, like if I didn't have YouTube, there'd be no other outlet where I'm just like complaining about her or anything. But I really thought the meme was funny. I'm not gonna lie, not because it's Nicki, just because, I mean, memes are funny. I know how to take jokes about myself. If people want to joke about me, like, I get it. I like to joke back. I'm just that type of person. Like, I'm not gonna get offended if you're joking like with me, not with ill intent. Like, I know how to joke back like just regularly. Anyway, I understood why Nicki was mad, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know, like it's like a double-edged sword. Like, obviously she was mad because, you know, he was liking a negative picture about her husband, but at the same time it was a meme. And I've seen people before get upset at me sharing memes or liking memes or whatever. And like, it wasn't as personal, but I've definitely been guilty of making my own meme about someone that led to her being super upset. We weren't even friends at the time, and it was like, I made a video about it before, about how at the time I almost got in a fight in college, and that's what that video was about. It all started with a meme. So I understand a lot about the power of memes and how mad people can get whenever you share or like certain things or make certain ones. So obviously Meek didn't make anything, he only liked it. However, I think he wanted it to be seen, because my thing is, it's like, you know, when people, especially when you're that famous, like, you know, come on, Meek, like, you know when people see when you like something. So I feel like that was like almost like, not like a cry for help or anything, but just like he wanted to be seen that he liked that picture. He wanted it to be known that he was being petty, which is fine. That's his prerogative, whatever. I'm not in the situation. I'm just giving my opinion on it. But I can see why Nicki was mad. I do think her reaction was way above, like, and beyond what it should have been. But, you know, maybe it's because I'm not in the situation, so I'm saying that and I'm kind of downplaying it. But I feel like how a girl tried to fight me because of the meme, and how Nicki's like super pissed at Meek because of, you know, him liking the picture. However, like I said, I do think she went way beyond what she needed to. I feel like I don't want to say she blew it completely out of proportion, because to her credit, I do think Meek has like a bad reputation as far as like not being able to leave her alone, like during just the whole time after they broke up, like always having to do something involving one of her exes. He just can't stop liking stuff. Just like Drake said, was it trigger fingers turned to Twitter fingers. So I definitely understood Nicki's point when she said that as well. It's like, well, I mean, it's kind of true. Like that's just what Meek Mill does, and it's just like, I mean, that's just what he does. He's just petty. But in the end, I did think Meek had like, I agreed with Meek when it came to his point as far as like her supporting her brother. Like that's another thing I complained about in my other video. I don't understand how Nicki gets on this high horse. I'm not trying to make this a Nicki hate video, whatever. But I don't understand where she's getting on this high horse about where she's throwing stones at Meek, but she has clearly been guilty of her own things. Like from what I understood from her brother's like sexual assault case against a child, because she was like 13, 12. She was hella young. But from what I understand about it, he had been like consistently molesting this girl, and that's why he's in the predicament that he's in. And if that's the case, and like I guess clearly that's the case, he's been sentenced for 25 years or up to 25 or something like that. Since that seems to be the case, I don't understand where she's coming from as far as defending him, or the brother defending him, getting him a lawyer. Like, I understand family is family, but it like there's no limit to who you can cut off. You cut off whoever is being toxic and negative to your life. And Nicki, I mean, I feel like she's toxic and negative like towards her own life. So I don't know. I just feel like I expected more from her, to see her just defending her brother so hard and like still standing by his side. It's just like, I don't understand, because I, in my own life, have had to cut off somebody like in my immediate family. So I know what it's like to cut off somebody that's been very toxic to my life. And I guess I just wish she would do the same instead of digging herself into this hole, especially marrying somebody that went to jail for the same thing, essentially. So I just feel like she's kind of making bad decisions all around. I think her decision to marry him was a complete mistake. I don't know if she has like daddy issues or just guy issues. Like, I really don't know on that front. But as far as that point that Meek Mill made, I completely agreed with him. But like I said, they were petty on both sides anyway, so I feel like the whole thing just shouldn't have happened, and it definitely could have been avoided. I definitely think Meek is wanting attention from her so bad, and it's just like, it's okay if he wants her back. I feel like that's okay. It's just he's doing it in such like an awkward way. Like, it's like he's like, you know how they tell you in elementary school, if a boy like is mean to you or messes with you, then he likes you. I feel like that's how Meek is acting, except he's however old and he's still doing the same things. Like, I have no problem with them wanting to be together, like, whatsoever. Like, that's their business. If they want to be happy, whatever. But Meek is like digging his own hole as far as like, I do think he really cared about her, and probably still really cares about her. Like she said in one of her songs, like how he's still in her DMs. I completely believe he most likely wants her back, but doesn't know how to go about it. So he's lashing out in like all these little petty ways, like poking and poking and poking. And then like, I do feel like he antagonized her so much to the point where she is just not having it anymore, and she blew up. And we all have had that in our lives, where people want to poke and poke and poke, and you know, they just like to antagonize us and push us to a point where we look crazy when we finally get upset or when we finally react. But that's just because all their poking is finally like built up to this whole thing. And I feel like that's what all this Twitter stuff is. It's just a bunch of like, it's just both of them like poking until it finally just like lashed out. I do wish they would have just tagged each other in the stuff, honestly. I know he said something like she blocked him on something when he was trying to like check on her husband. I don't even know why he's admitting that. Like, nigga, move on. Like, she doesn't want you. It is what it is. And he just needs to do better as far as actually moving on and not just pretending like he did and trying to do better for himself. And I feel like when Nicki said like how Meek was very supportive as far as just admitting like how much she did for him, how much she stuck by his side, I wish people would keep that same energy. Like when you're in relationships, you know, like you do things for the other person because you care about them. So when she testified for him, I don't understand why he's almost like throwing it back like, oh, I wasn't a bad person when you testified for me. But it's like, yeah, because when you date someone and you love them, you want to do stuff for them. You want to be able to support them and help them. But one thing I don't understand is I don't understand why it took Meek's tweet for Nicki to bring up how he supposedly physically assaulted? Somehow assaulted her like he's a woman beater. So I don't understand where all this is coming up just because, girl, if he really did that, it wouldn't have taken at least just one tweet or all his poking to have brought it up. Like, I feel like you either bring it up in a way that's on your own time when you're ready to tell everybody, or I don't know. I feel like that's like really it. I'm not trying to be like insensitive. I've never had to like come forward about anything like that. I've never had to consider coming forward about anything like that. But I do feel like Nicki was very petty whenever she brought up him when she brought up him allegedly physically abusing her. And I don't think a tweet should have been the way she brought it up, because it definitely brings less validity to her and it brings her credit a lot down, because I'm not gonna take her seriously when she's saying stuff when she's already mad and it like just came out essentially. I wish she would have brought it up, like I said, on her own time, so it didn't seem like she was just almost just saying anything to make him mad. And I liked Meek's response as far as him saying he's not even gonna entertain it. He knows he did it. He's not gonna answer any questions about it. He addressed it in whatever tweet he did. And I like the way he handled it. I feel like it was very mature. However, that was probably the only mature thing he did in this whole situation. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought on this. If you think I wasn't harsh enough, too harsh on Nicki, if I was maybe too biased. I do think I tried to do a good job of just saying it how it was and just telling you guys exactly what I thought without my bias for her. But yeah, share your comments down below. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you are a new watcher, thank you for coming and checking out this video. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you again for sticking with me and coming back. Thank you guys again. Bye.